ish, sort of.
Cool,
Kind of.
cool.
All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are here live with the Optimal Carnivore. So, Rob, we are so excited to have you on. It's already been a pleasure backstage so far. And obviously, we can't give details, but either way, it's already been a joy.
Extremely. No, thank you for inviting me on. Honor, pleasure.
Absolutely. So, gonna start off and kind of wing it as per usual because that's what we do here. Um, Obviously, you focus primarily on the carnivore lifestyle and you work from that. And what brought you to carnivore?
Great question. Generic answer, Sean Baker on Joe Rogan. That was my first sort of time I heard the word carnivore. You know, it's a boring answer, but there's a bit of a backstory to it. I was already, since about 2014, so I was already kind of into the ketogenic space, low carb, and I got an introduction to all that. It was my friend actually sent me like a little ebook that was called Carb Night and Carb Backloading. So it was
Nice.
along the premise of being low carb ketogenic for like 6 days a week, and then on like the last day, the seventh, you introduced a load of carbohydrates to get an insulin spike and all this sort of physiology stuff. And I found it fascinating, really found it fascinating. But I think I found it more fascinating because you were allowed junk food still. You could binge, you could have this little cheat day. So, and it didn't really sit well with me, but when you're sort of in your early 20s and things, it sounds quite cool. You're like, oh, I can still have this food in my life. And
Right.
from like a bodybuilding background, we're used to having like cheat meals and it's just part of the parcel. And then I started implementing it into my clients and myself, and it worked. But then I realized something isn't right. Like, why? I feel like I'm really healthy for 6 days, and then on the seventh day, why do this isn't right? I'm eating donuts and cookies and stuff that doesn't appear in nature. But I kind of understood the science that the guy was trying to get at. So, and then sort of fast forward, I'd kind of done that for a long time. And then 2017, around there, I saw a little thumbnail came up on YouTube, and it was this guy who only eats meat, and he's super healthy, and he's jacked, and he's Sean Baker, and I just couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't stop listening to it. I had my pen and paper out. I'm writing it. I'm like, this is gold, and this really, everything just kind of fit together. Then it's like I had a load of pieces of puzzle, and I didn't really quite understand why. I've got like, I've got a piece of broccoli on my plate, maybe a piece of red meat, but then I've got like some potatoes, and all these things could have been from different continents, and it didn't really make sense that I had to in nature, and you'd find those, and then he just sort of put his like, oh, you can just get everything from like a piece of meat. I'm like, what? This sounds crazy, but it was that light bulb moment. So yeah, and then started trying it myself, going down the rabbit hole, found it amazing, implemented it into my clients, and the rest is history, sort of thing. Yeah, I just find it amazing. I love it, and I geek out over it all the time. And you'll have to rein me in to shut up about it. But yeah.
No, I've seen in your content. I'm like, oh, he's hardcore. Like,
Oh, really?
he's
Thank you.
hardcore carnivore. But that is awesome. So you were into bodybuilding, and how long were you into bodybuilding before becoming carnivore?
Yeah, I first competed in a natural bodybuilding competition in 2010. And then I started, so carnivore from about 2017, 18. So a good 7, 8 years competing, I think doing the wrong way of doing it. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
I've got really, really lean, eating absolute junk, like trying to follow, like obviously, do you know when you could get shredded eating pizza every day if you're under your calories in a way. It's just how sustainable is that? And it's the hunger and the willpower and the binging and purging and all this stuff. So yeah, I did my first carnivore bodybuilding prep last year. So even though I competed in 2020 during lockdown, and even though I was already well into my carnivore journey, during the competition prep, I had help of somebody, and they got me eating carbohydrates again. And I just got lost in it. I thought, well, there's no other way of doing it. There's nobody else doing this. There's Robert Sykes, Keto Savage. I think you've spoke to him before.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
was,
Love
yeah,
that.
and yeah, great guy. And I felt like, okay, like maybe he's just a bit of an anomaly. He's just really good on that. But everyone else, it's six,
Right.
7 meals a day, carbs every meal, 3 hour eating every 3 hours. And I slowly went back to that. And then as soon as I finished the competition, I went back to carnivore. And I thought, why did I do that? So yeah, last year I did it all myself. I did a full carnivore prep because I'd already got rid of the junk food addictions and any cheat days and things. So I thought it doesn't make any sense to eat any differently. How do I do this?
Mm.
So I had Robert Sykes's book, and also Sean Baker had some like I think it was called like Get Shredded video guides, and I just started constructing a plan, and I found his book amazing, read it a couple of times, and yeah, I was pretty proud that I did the whole prep with like no carbs, no caffeine, no creatine, no crucifix. It were all the C's,
Wow.
no but cruciferous, no vegetables, and it was just pure carnivore. And yeah, I reckon I could have done it even better, but I made a lot of notes, and if I compete again, I'll try and fine tune it. So yeah, it worked well,
That,
mainly from a satiety point of view, like having a stable blood sugar. Because obviously, when you're getting really, really lean, on carnivore, you start
Yeah.
to get
mhm.
hungry. Your body my
Yeah.
body might want to be about 15% body fat. I'm trying to get down to 5.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, you get all the negatives of being too lean still. Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I'm pretty familiar with bodybuilding as far as growing up. My father competed professionally, and um, that was something I was definitely curious about. Like, if you still experienced, even as a carnivore bodybuilding athlete, when you started getting closer and closer to comp times, were you
Yeah.
still experiencing those kind of hungers? Because I mean, you don't have those back end resources that your body can just kind of sustain off of for extended periods of time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was more like it took longer for it to kick in. So say like I started at like 18 weeks before the competition on a high carb diet, but typical bodybuilding, straight away, it's like from day one, I was like hungry and wanting to eat and ready to eat every 3 hours. I got to maybe about 6 weeks before the competition doing it carnival before I started to experience anything like that. So it was really strange. So that was really powerful. And then fast forward to like the off season where I'm trying to gain and bulk almost. I get a lot heavier when I used to have carbohydrates, but it was all body fat. I'm like, so you'll
Yeah.
be in
Right.
more pounds. So I was maybe like 40 pounds heavier in my off season. But then, so I'm starting there rather than here. But then I still
Right.
end up at the same weight on stage. I might be like 160 pounds on stage, but look how many more weeks I've got to diet to take that initial 40 pounds off where I've already got a head start with carnivore.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, and
Yeah.
you look better and feel better year round. You don't have all this fluff on you. But I didn't know any other way. I thought bigger the better, the heavier the scale weights.
Well,
So that
and
stuff's good.
I think that's like the misconception that a lot of people who go into like heavyweight strength training or bodybuilding, that they're like, oh, I've got to do bulking, 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 bulking in order to get big. And I'm like, even before carnivore, right? That like I was aware of, um, I'm like, man, you're bulking, but it's like all fat. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
there
like
should be a different word for it. It should just be getting fat.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the amount of muscle percentage that you're gaining in comparison to the amount of fat weight or water weight that you're putting on. It's like the ratios. I'm like, "Wow, guys, is that really worth it? Can you not do it without that?"
Well, it's
Like,
good that
is that not
yeah, that's it, that you
yeah.
touched upon that, because you just have to diet for longer, and especially as a natural, that if say you get that couple of pounds more muscle by being that big bulky fat mess, like you're going to lose that because you've got to diet. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? You're going to lose that coming down. You have to diet for 6 months longer. You're going to lose that muscle anyway, so it's not worth it. But it's the kind of generic way, and I know I'm in the minority, and people will argue till they're blue in the face that I'm doing it wrong, which I might be, but it works for me, and I feel my best with doing that. That's all you can say back to these people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough one.
We all know. We all know. I got told on the weekend by somebody who's a good friend of mine who's been putting a lot of time into her fitness. Like, big congrats to her. She's done great. But I said to her, "How are you feeling? I've been talking to you in a while." "Oh, I feel great. Turns out you need carbs." And I went, and she said, "Okay, well, maybe you don't need carbs, but," and I said, "Well, like, in your circumstance, I guess that's where you're at." But I said, "I think you can look at the two of us and recognize that, like, I can outlift you, and I haven't had carbs in 3 years." So, I mean,
That's
eating
great.
small
Yeah,
amounts of dairy, but yeah,
it's too many examples, and I think that just makes me think, like, I think people separate fitness from health when
yeah,
it can be combined, I
Mm,
believe. Like,
100%.
yeah,
absolutely.
so they separate the two, and especially bodybuilders getting really, really big and fat and bulky, they'll sacrifice their health to think they're. And I see
Mhm.
what they're trying to do. They think they're going to gain loads more muscle, and it's worth it for when they shred down. But you're getting more and more insulin resistant and type 2 diabetic on them, like, and you see all these puffy faces and acne, and it's like, do you know, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A really cool thing that was just kind of an eye opener for me recently is last week was like my first week of going, okay, I'm back in the gym. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to do this again. I've had an on and off love hate relationship with the gym. But always have been heavy into like strength training in general, just with my family's background. It's kind of where I've leaned towards. And one of the coolest, just kind of like holy crap moments was when I went in last Wednesday and I was doing like glutes and hamstrings, right? One of the things I have this app I use called Strong. And so it shows me whenever I pull up a certain exercise, it shows me whatever I did previously, right? And I was like, man, I haven't been back here in the gym in almost 5 weeks. And that last exercise was 5 weeks prior. And I typically do like cable RDLs, like single leg B stance, right? Love them. Those are my favorites. But of course, I'm a girl. So, of course, I like leg stuff. But
What?
what? Yeah, clip that one. So my previous when I had finished, my previous was at I was doing 120 pounds. Sorry, I don't know what that converts for you, but I was doing 120 pounds
50 something
and
kilos, something like that. Yeah.
right. And I'm like, obviously I'm gonna have to reduce down because it's been like 5 weeks. I went back in and I actually had to up it. I haven't trained, but it was like this amazing moment of holy crap. Had this been 5 years ago, even when I was keto, not
Yeah.
carnivore, but keto, if I had taken 2 weeks off, I would have lost half of my strength pull
Magic.
easy. Like I would have never kept it, let alone increased it without training. And it was just kind of like, holy crap, like I don't lose my strength even when I'm not training. Not that I'm telling anybody not to train because you need to, but I'm not losing it like I would have when I was on a somewhat carb, even keto regiment. Mind blowing to me. I was like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows the power of muscle retention with the right diet, that
Mhm.
you don't,
Mhm.
if you haven't trained for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, muscle's not just going to disappear. Like your body,
Right.
I think it hangs around for a lot longer, like to be able to maintain muscle. And yeah, I think we put that down to the diet as well. Definitely,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Absolutely.
Really good, really good. I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a cool, like just major smack in the face moment of like, man, this is different. This is different. It's just different. You can't ignore what actually is happening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
Jenny, Do you have any questions? Because I know I tend to be like the
No, it's okay.
dominating questionnaire.
Well, I think it's the natural flow of conversation. That's a normal human thing. It's okay. Yeah, Rob, I'd like to know what carnivore looks like for you. Not like just a general carnivore. Obviously, we recognize if you want to go over it when you're leaning down, then sure, go over that too. But I'd like to know what your carnivore looks like.
My carnivore, I like that. Yeah, I call it carnivore to my
Oh, I
clients.
love
Like
that.
it's your version. Thank you.
You should
Yeah,
get one of
like
those. You should make a
Nice.
shirt that says that for you.
yeah, and that's why it's like the name optimal carnivore is more like it's not like I'm the optimal carnivore. It's like optimal carnivore is your like what's optimal for you. So
Right.
so if you need if you say you said to me like I can do everything you've recommended, but I still need coffee. Of course, do you know? Because then people are like, right, I can't have coffee. I'm just going to throw the baby out with the
Yes.
bathwater, go off the rails. That's your that's the optimal carnivore for you at this moment in your life.
Yes.
It may change.
Right.
So yes, that's just a side tangent with that. So
Love it.
yeah,
Wow,
no,
love that.
brilliant. I'm always experimenting. Um, obviously, you know, like the Paul Saladinos and things like that. I've been drawn into like thinking the grass might be a little bit greener and trying stuff. And
Right.
I always try stuff, and I always resort back to carnivore. I seem to lose all the benefits of it. And for me, I'll switch between like OMAD or 2MAD, so 1 or 2 meals a day. I sort of settle around there. I probably, if I was being honest, I probably feel like my body wants one big feed in a day, like a lion sort of thing. I feel like that, and it's really boring. Like it's just fatty red meat. Like yeah, and a lot of
Right.
we call it mince, like ground beef,
Mhm.
just because it's like sometimes I prefer it, but it's obviously cheaper. And then on a weekend, my cheat is more cheap financially. Like I might have a tomahawk or a big ribeye or a T-bone. I don't know if you call them those. But yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's just seems to how over the years I just seem to fine tune it, and that's how my body's works best. Even when I put like eggs or chicken wings in, it doesn't hit the spot like the red meat. I always almost feel hungrier, like I need some red meat to finish it off. So yeah, really boring. Sort of majority of the time, 1 meal a day, lion diet, hardcore carnivore, what you want to sort of call it. But to me, it's just really routine, and I know that's what makes me feel my best. And yeah, to anyone else from the outside looking in, especially if they're not into carnivore or anything, it looks really restrictive and boring. Like I've just been to a wedding. I was the best man, had to do a speech, and then I got my lunchbox out and I had to hide it. Like only because the bride said, "Don't let anyone see that." So I had it on my lap, like under the table, and that was and people freaked. Like you've got one guy was talking to me actually, and a really nice guy, and he's like, "You've got to let your hair down a bit, mate. Like you can't live your life like this." He couldn't grasp it. I said, and he didn't understand that it's harder for me to not do that. It's
Yeah.
not worth all the negatives in my head.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, and I don't expect him to understand. But to me, I just see it as like I think you're holding a bit of a mirror up to their lifestyle. You're like, why like I don't drink alcohol. I'm not special or better than anyone else, but it's not for me. I've gone 7 years sober this month, and it's not that I had a problem with it. It's just not for me. So they're all drinking, they're eating whatever they want, and I think they think that I'm thinking. Oh, they're saying, do you think you're better than us? Do you know what? How can you do
Right.
that? Or like, should I be doing this or should I? Like, do what you want. This is just, and I just say, look, I feel my best like this. I'm going to wake up in the morning with zero regret. I'm going to sleep well. It's not worth it for a few seconds of mouth pleasure. But to be honest, it took me a long time to have that mindset. It did. Food is so addictive, and even though you like, how quick can you demolish a few slices of pizza and or
Right.
cookies? Do you know? Imagine, and then all of a sudden it felt right at the time, and you're justifying it in your head and have that mental battle, and then I used to find myself on the cross trainer at 1 a.m, sweating, trying to burn it off, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And it's not worth it.
It's
That
the
binge
guilt.
and purge. So
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
coming from a bit of a food addiction and a bad relationship with food and body dysmorphia and things like that, and all that seems to be able to be nullified with carnivore
Yeah.
for me. So yep, hope that answers it well.
No, it does. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think.
I
Oh, go ahead, Selena.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was also at a wedding last September. My friend got married. I was bridesmaid, but she knows me, and so she called me in advance and she said, "I'm going to do sliced roast beef. They're going to add everything on the side. Is that okay for you? Is that enough?" And I was like, it's your wedding. I can bring my lunchbox. Like, you don't have to accommodate me. And she goes, no, it's okay. Like, everybody's going to kind of do buffet style. But she said, I wanted to make sure there's enough food for you. So I go in my bridesmaid's dress, with my bridesmaid makeup, my bridesmaid's hair, and I'm there piling meat on my plate. And a very similar number of women are like, are you okay? And they're like, you don't drink. You're just walking around eating these things all day. I had my lunch boxes because you have to get your hair and makeup and everything. I was there the whole day. Everybody else is drinking mimosas and I'm drinking water, and they're drinking champagne and I'm drinking water, and they're, eating cake and I'm eating pieces of meat. And I definitely could sense some of the men were curious. I got asked by a few men. I think it's uncommon at a wedding to see a woman in a bridesmaid's dress eating
Just like
piles of just roast beef.
I love it.
But the girls definitely were kind of staring me down, but I was about 10 years older than everybody else. And then 2 or 3 of the other bridesmaids finally came up and they're like, so, like, tell me about this meat thing, because your skin's looking as good as my skin is. And I was like, listen, call me after this. Let's have a talk. And now 2 or 3 of those girls follow me. So,
there you go.
You can be the weirdo at the event. It's okay.
I love it.
It was a funny time.
It's funny you say that, yeah, because I weirdly like being the black sheep and the weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
I got used to it very soon when I sort of still went out and didn't drink, and I just drove my friends, and I just got used to it, and I kind of liked being a bit different. I don't know if that helps anyone else who can't get off that path where they follow the crowd and the fear of missing out. I love it. I like bring on, and then the older you get a bit more confident with your answers to the questions. You don't try and hide away. And people start to, like you said, if your friend try to accommodate for you, that's great. People start to realize, and you're a walking example, and you probably look 10 years younger than the people that were 10 years younger than you. So they're like, actually, maybe there's something in this. It's not as if we're like unhealthy people that that look like they're about to drop dead. Hopefully, we're walking examples.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to be able to open the door to somebody else who might have been thinking about something and was struggling with it, right? So maybe they didn't have the courage to follow their diet that day or stay sober through that event, and they see you doing it. As much as I think as human beings, we tend to perceive things as the negative option, like, oh, everyone's going to judge me. They're going to think I'm weird. What if you're the person in the room? And I know it did happen that night. I ended up connecting with a friend of hers who had been on a 150-pound weight loss journey over the last 2 years. What if by being the black sheep, you're the person that somebody else goes, well, they're doing it, I could do it too. Right. And it's like, you get to help somebody through that. I think that's always worth being the girl in a bridesmaid's dress eating a plate of meat for.
100%. It's very admirable, and you're you're the inspiration. Even if it was one person that you affected, I always think it's worth doing. You'll go home and then someone's followed you that was at the wedding on your Instagram, and you're like, right, that's resonated with me, and you wake up the next day, zero guilt the next day, and you've changed someone's life, maybe.
Yeah, zero guilt's a cool thing.
Yeah. Underrated, very underrated.
I find a lot of the opposition comes up with what you brought forward just a little bit ago about how you kind of become the mirror for them. And I think when the issues come up about that, is it says so much more about where that person's at personally and what kind of mental fortitude they have within themselves. I usually find when people are like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. That's really not good for you. You should let your hair down. You should relax. You should it's just one day. And then often you look at these people and it's like, I hate to say it this way because it's not from a hateful judgment. It's just from an observatory awareness of going, more often, these people are the same ones that typically have severe food addiction issues or severe alcohol issues, even if they handle it well, like they're a functioning drunk, they're a functioning like sugar addict. It's like, Yeah, but what's happening to your body, and society's justifying that it's okay and it looks okay because we're celebrating, because we're doing this. And so there's this like forgiveness for hurting yourself in society that people are like, "Oh, it's okay because we're celebrating." And it's like, when this is the part that I have a hard time with. When did we decide that celebration required poisoning ourselves?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to say that. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's
Right?
yep, great way
Like,
of
here,
putting it.
kids, have this all this candy for whatever holiday, Easter, Christmas, Halloween, whatever people celebrate, right? Here's this candy. We're celebrating. Oh, you did such a good job. Here's
And
a
then why do you have a
lollipop.
food addiction as an adult?
Right? I'm just like, man, it was interesting this 4th of July here in the US. People literally, while we were at the parade, they're tossing loads of candy and those sugar watered, color dyed popsicles, like freeze pop things, right? Because it's summer here. And we're in this lady's yard and they're tossing, and I'm like, stop. Like, please stop. I'm like, because my 4-year-old's like looking at it and it's like he's aware, but he's still not like necessarily fully cognitive of like, well, why is everybody else going after it if it's not good for us? Like, he doesn't, it doesn't
Oh,
process, right?
it's a minefield out there.
Yeah. And I'm like, stop. And the lady's like, oh, but it's a popsicle and it's summertime. I'm sure, he's hot. And I'm like, so we're gonna high dose him with a bunch of chemicals and sugar so he becomes more dehydrated in the summertime. Like, let's not even get into the sugar aspect, but we're gonna dehydrate him because
Yeah.
it's hot outside. Like, it's
Oh,
like, and she looked at me and she was like, well, it's a popsicle. And I'm like,
that's
mhm.
what. Yeah, that winds me up because people say it like that, like so blasé and like, oh, it's just this. It's just a bag of sweets. It's just you could say it's just a shot of heroin. It's just a little
Well,
line
that's
of
it. Yeah.
cocaine.
Just a line
It
of Coke. Like,
just because you put the word "just"
Exactly.
in the front, that's what winds me up. Oh, it's only that.
Right?
Okay. And it's that really gets me. And obviously, when you've got children and stuff, and the people like look down the nose at you as if you're treating them badly, and you're
Yeah.
really we say tight here. You're a tight person. I don't know if you use that word, but yeah, you're so tight or you're so restrictive with them. Like no, this,
Yeah.
and they're like candy, love me, and I'm like no, I'll show my way of
Yeah.
love by not giving it to them, and it's so backwards, and
Exactly.
it is a minefield, and they're like the only kid at a party with a lunchbox, and everyone, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. Totally understand, and it's with a
I think
minority.
it's so necessary now, though. Like I was chatting with a good friend of mine who I've been trying to help with some nutrition decisions, and she had quite a weight issue when we met. Um, and yet still she'll tell me all the time, oh, well, it's the last day of school. I got to take my girls for ice cream. Once a week we're still ordering pizza. Once a week we're still ordering McDonald's and da da da. And I said to her, if you want to make decisions as an adult, that's your prerogative. I can't impact you if you're not willing to listen. But we know you're pre-diabetic. You're only 31. You have struggled immensely with your weight in your 20s. So this is probably going to only progress for you into your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. And now you're teaching your 3-year-old and 7-year-old the same pattern of behavior that, like, you did good, this equals food reward. And they're
Yeah.
going to translate that, because my background psychology, all you're teaching is like good behavior equals bad thing reward, right? So like it's
Exactly.
exactly as you said. So who's to stop them when they're 20 from being like, I did a great job today, I'm going to go get drunk. I did a great job today, I'm going to go out tonight and do a bunch of coke. Like,
Yeah. I deserve this
Yeah,
drink.
I deserve
I
it. Yeah, the
yeah,
the
I
the
deserve it.
deserve and the word treat, right? And treat's
Yeah.
like my least favorite word on the face of the planet. Uh, those two things together, and you just see all of these people. Well, my kid did well. They get. Why? Like, do you get something for being a functional member of society? I don't. Nobody gives me a treat at the end of my workday. Like,
No.
sometimes I get to talk to Selena for a few minutes after a podcast. That's the
Yes.
highlight of
Yeah.
my day, but
What
it's
grinds my gears, that people will be like, oh, do you worry that you're so restrictive and strict they're just going to rebel later in life? Like, I think that's such a straw man argument, ridiculous thing to say, I believe. Do you know, like, why would, okay, all right, I'll let them have poison all the time and then they won't care. Do you know, it's like, oh, I
You'll
always
be
say,
too numb to care.
that really winds me up. Like, I don't want my kids drinking alcohol, and then people even look at, oh, you've got, even on their 18th, you've got to take your son to the pub. Like, what? No, like, I've been teaching him his whole life how bad it is. Like, oh, he'll just rebel then and start taking drugs, and I'm like, well, maybe, but at least I've tried my best. Do you ever find that? Like,
And they're
people,
educated. I think it's then at least you've taught your kids. Like, I grew up in a Romanian household where, like, we got little bits of wine all the time here and there. So there was no stigma about alcohol. So when I turned 16, I wasn't like, I gotta go get drunk like all the other high school kids, right? Or when it's 18 legal drinking limit. I live in Canada.
it's 18 here,
18 limit here, right? So everybody else just felt this need to like immediately go get blackout drunk. And I mean, it's not that I wasn't without that prior to stopping drinking, but I think when you educate people, my whole life, I always was fed homemade natural foods. My parents were Romanian farmers. It was like meat and potatoes, right? Or meat and vegetables. I hardly even ever ate rice or carbs. So I grew into adulthood. I had never had like Coca-Cola until I was like 17. And one of my friends was like, try this. I took a sip of it and I remember being like, this is disgusting and hating it. And so I think it's like, as much as people say your kids are going to rebel, they might try something, but they're going into it with the awareness. You've given them the tool to be educated, not only of like why they shouldn't, but the impact of it, like metabolically, what it actually does to your body. That consuming this is consuming poison. And I think it just sets them up to be so strong, rather than saying like, oh, your kid's going to be the weak kid at the party because you didn't let them. It's not that you just told them no, you educated them. When you give kids just restriction, that's a different scenario. They're going to kind of like press the boundary of why, but you're telling them why. You're educating them on the why we don't have this.
100%. Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, my little girl, someone mentioned sweets to her. She went to like, do you have baby showers, like a bridal shower? She was, yeah. So her auntie was about to have a baby, basically, and they was doing loads of packages of sweets and stuff.
Right.
And she was saying to her grandma that sweets make you fat and die. And I was strangely sort of proud of her. She's 4. I'm like, I'd rather her think that than, than. And then she's like, you can't go around saying that. I'm like, like I say, yeah, I'm quite proud of her. But like it, so that
I'm proud of her.
Yeah, me
thank
too.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Round of applause for her.
It's education, like you said. It's not just like, no, you're not having it. I'm like, if you tell them why, the same with clients that I have now. Somebody was at a bit of a fat loss plateau, and they were still having like on a night they was having like Greek yogurt with some blueberries in.
Get you.
Yeah, and like obviously, I said to anyone else starting their journey, if somebody eats exactly how you're eating now, they'll start to drop the weight. But you're at a bit of a plateau. Do you know, like we've got the big rocks of the big rocks in the jar being ticked off, but then I think when you're 90% there, these little grains of sand make a difference, the minutiae. So I said, it might sound strict, but I'm like, take the dairy out. And then, but I didn't just say that. I explained the dairy and the blueberries as fruit. What happens like at the end of, I think fruit is to fatten us up for the winter, end of the autumn harvest, these couple of weeks of the year before the winter. Obviously, winter never comes now, or it's winter year round. Do you know, whichever way you want to look at it. So I just really explained it all in a voice note, and I blabbered on. But I was hoping they resonated more rather than me just saying, "Take that out, speak to you next week." Do you know, the education and they understood what was happening, and yeah, I think education, you bang on, really powerful.
Absolutely. I have a similar story with my 4-year-old. We almost never go to the grocery store. And this was almost a year ago now. Almost a year ago, we're going through the grocery store, and it's really like his first time actually like walking through the grocery store with me. We order a lot of food. So in addition to my own work, I work at home remotely, but I also full-time mom the whole time. And we're walking through, we get to the meat section, and we just happened to turn back down whatever aisle was like the nearest aisle to walk back towards the registers to check out. And it happened to be the candy aisle. And we're walking down, and he's in the little buggy. And this woman's like bent over, and she's getting one of those like fun size bags of, I don't know, like mixed Snickers and something else, right? And he looks over and he's like, "Ew, that's poison." And I'm like embarrassed because I'm like, he's yelling it at this lady. Like there's
Proud.
no, yeah, there's no, and I'm like embarrassed. I'm walking by, I'm like, "Ah, sorry. He's right though." Like,
So
like
that's great.
we're not trying to shame you, but he's not wrong.
There you go. And they don't know the social cues not to say that out loud. And my little girl's like, "Yeah, he's like, Daddy, look at the size of that man. Look at the size of that man." I'm like, yeah. Just don't say it. Do you know, at the swimming baths and things when they're in the trunks, the bathing suits. But you're kind of strangely proud as well, like that they're on it. They see everything.
It's out of the mouth of babes, right? Kids are going to say weird things no matter what, so they might as well be right. They might as well be right.
True. I like that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna steer us away just a little bit. I'm curious about, because even before Carnivore, obviously you have a particular just go get it like persona, this aspect to you that is like decidedly driven. Have you always been that way, or was there like a turning point in your life where suddenly it was like, "Oh, I need to do this no matter what, and I know I can"? Or have you kind of always just been that grit your teeth kind of kid all the way along?
What a question. Brilliant. No one's ever asked me that, but I never really looked at it like that. But that does make sense. But I played soccer, football, and I liked winning. I was quite driven by that. And so, and you know, when you get a little taste of being not too bad at something, I was really poor at all subjects at school except for like PE and physical education and like biology. So like physiology stuff. So anything I was like, okay, I wanted to be the best at. Whereas I knew I was poor at geography and history. I just didn't even bother trying. So I was kind of like that. I'm a bit like a black or white personality. I either drink or I don't drink. I can't moderate things. So that probably fits in. So I'm definitely on the spectrum with some stuff. My wife says I'm definitely autistic. Like whatever. I'm sure we all have traits. So yeah, that competitive nature. And then I discovered, and then I was really small at school. I didn't grow at my end of year prom. I was up to everyone's shoulder in my year.
What?
And I didn't grow till I was about like 17. Like I had a growth spurt at college. And then I thought, right, because I thought if you do weights too early, it'll stunt your growth. And I was already quite short. So then I thought, right, I'm tall and skinny now. I'm 6 foot. I want to bulk up. So I started training and going to the gym. And then I discovered like bodybuilding and saw these in this gym and people competed in natural bodybuilding. And then my competitive nature just was like, boom. And then it was like, right, alcohol doesn't fit in with this. That's off the table, done. It was kind of like I can make decisions like that. I don't know where it comes from. It's just like that doesn't benefit my life. And I didn't, like I said before, I didn't mind being different to people. I kind of liked it because I was kind of used to being a bit different. I was always short. I had a bit of social anxiety and things when I first tried going out, and I saw everyone drinking, and it's like I didn't get it, and I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why people did it, and you try and fit in a little bit, and I soon realised it's not for me. And then fast forward when I was like 29, my son was born. And that was a big turning point of like, right, I need to set a good example for this lad. So that was a big turning point. But I already had the competitive nature and the black or white personality with things. And if I saw something, like if I had a goal, I'm like, I need to see this through. Otherwise, I'd let myself down, even though no one cares. No one will know if I have some donuts sat in my car. Do you know, things like that. And then my
Right.
son was born, and I still had that addictive food side, but I didn't even know I was addicted till I tried to cut it out. And I was like, how can I tell him not to eat pizza when daddy's sat there eating pizza? I'd already
Yeah.
got rid of the alcohol. It was good. The last time I drank was on my stag do, so bachelor party, I think you call them, which was like 7 years ago. Like,
What do you call it?
stag do.
Stag do?
Stag. So a stag
Yeah,
is
like
the animal. I think
like
it's
a
to do.
deer.
Yeah, that's it. Stag do.
We call them
So that was
steaks
last
here
time I
too.
drank. Yeah, but prior to that, I hadn't drank for 2 years. So I never. I took at these big gaps, and I thought, nah, I'm done with this. So yeah, biggest turning point was probably when my son was born. So that was 2019, and I was like, nah, I need to really set an example here. And I just got kind of stricter and stricter. But to me, it was fine tuning it. It felt more and more comfortable, and it was like I had less anxiety by getting rid of these things in my life. Don't get me wrong. The last time I had something I shouldn't have was at my wife's 30th, was last December. So, and I was going to bring a steak and ask them to cook it for me. And it was like an Italian restaurant. I thought, I ain't had oat in a long time. Okay. And I wasn't missing out. I tell you that. Do you know what a calzone is?
Yeah.
You call them that? Yeah. So I'd want that. And I was like, felt your body, body reminds you the next day. I felt hungover, brain foggy, water retention, everything. My body told me everything I needed to know. And I didn't really care. I kind of did it for the social side. It's almost as if I see it as planning on taking drugs. You're not getting away with it. I see it as that. Maybe a less extreme version, but for me, when you really fine tune your body, if I ate an apple today, I'd feel a difference with digestion, brain, ketosis, sort of power. When you're that sort of dialed in, you notice. But when you've got like 100 different things in your diet, you don't know what's causing the problem. So
Exactly. So true.
So I hope that answers your question. Sorry, a bit long-winded, but yeah, great. I love that question. Great. Yeah, no one's ever asked me that. I never thought about it, but yeah. And then I suppose as a coach as well, now I just want to set the example. And when that wedding I just went to, I felt almost not superior is the wrong word. Like that's a very arrogant thing to say, but.
Oh no, I think we lost him.
Rob.
And that's where it ends.
Done.
Superior is the wrong thing to say, and I'm out. It wasn't that bad, Rob.
It's okay, Rob. Come back. I like that we matched today.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. I was like,
feels on brand.
Right?
I didn't get a cool tank top, but
I'll buy one for you. We could have matching tank tops when we come on the show. We're still live.
Yeah, I figured. But anybody who's watching knows us. So
right.
Well, welcome. This is what the show brings to the table.
Can you see me?
Yes, welcome.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Right, that's my fault because let me put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know if it'll work on this, but somebody tried to ring me. Right, for 1 hour. Right, okay. Let's go. Right. That was very fitting though. I'm not arrogant at all. Peace.
That's what we said. We were like, peace.
What was I banging on about? So yeah, the wedding. I didn't. Yeah, but I do. I do like it's that night and day what people are doing with cocaine around the nose, and it's not even the food side of it. You're like, and I think a message for people that like want to. I do get people say to me, like, I wish I could do that. I just can't do it. I'm like, you can, and if you ever did it, you'd understand how it feels. You know, that sort of that power, and it's more control and liberating. That I don't think I'm better than people. It's more that I think they're better than they realize. Does that make sense?
Yes,
that's a great way.
100%.
I want more. Thank you. I want more for them. The potential's there. You know, it's because who are we? We're just humans. You know, we're not special. Like it's a tough one, but again, you're the minority.
Yeah, I go through that with my mom in particular, and I'm gonna put her on blast today. So she like there's this conscious part of her that wants to do better, but everything in her has this like perspective of, well, I don't want to feel like I'm being deprived.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't understand,
Mhm.
because you only feel that way because you're still addicted to the carbs and the sugar, and your signals are still going, you need to have this. I said, you've not detoxed your body out of that for any long enough period of time. We're talking more than a few days, right?
Yeah.
Period of time to actually get that mental conversation that's going on in your head to shut up. And I'm like, I didn't experience that until I went full carnivore. I was keto, really close to carnivore. Like, I would guess I would say ketovore, animal based, I don't know, whatever. Those words weren't in my vocabulary at the time, but for 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years, and I was like strict. And I still, every day, if I drove by a bakery and smelled it, everything in my body was like, oh my God, if I could just, well, maybe I should, maybe how many calories have I had with carbs today? How many, like,
Yeah. You
my
start doing
brain
the
would,
addict calculation.
yeah. And it was like, this is not, that's not freedom. I'm
No.
sorry, but that's like the epitome of hell.
Yeah.
And until you actually detox that out of your system, and you no longer walk by whatever your food is, if it's Sour Patch Kids, if it's a bagel, if it's, whatever, a donut, if it's pie, if it's cake, if it's whatever, any of those things, if it's strawberries and, watermelon and pineapple, same difference. Most people don't
Mhm.
realize it's triggering that same response. If you can't walk by it without going, "Oh, I'll just have a little piece. Oh, I just need a little bit more. Oh, let me readjust for this or that in order to eat it," you don't know what it's like to not be addicted to it.
Yeah.
You
You're the
should
same as the
definitely,
people that are up at 3 a.m. being like, I can have 2 more beers. I can go to bed for an
yeah.
hour and a half. I can still make it to work in the morning. Right?
Yeah,
It's the same thing. You're
You,
doing the same calculation of like the addict behavior.
mhm,
justification in your head.
Mhm.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
should snip
yeah,
it, that Selena, that you just said. You should definitely snip it, that little section, that little speech. You're brilliant. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's
thanks.
how ironic is it that, like you said about your mother, with they're saying that I can't live my life without this. That is the actual problem that's making you not be able to live your life. It's so ironic, the irony, and
Exactly.
but you don't know until you step away. To us, we can't unsee it now, but they're blind to
Yeah,
it. And this, I call it the carbohydrate noise. You can't listen
Mhm.
to any hunger and satiety, and like you said, it's like they've got handcuffs on. I feel
mhm,
like it's someone they're in a prison and people are putting food through the door, and whatever gets put through,
yeah,
they have to eat. Whereas carnivore is like breaking out of that, and it's like it's a choice now. What I eat, and it's like it's not an
Yeah.
emergency to eat. It becomes a choice, and it's just
exactly.
you want to shout it from the rooftops and get everyone to feel that
Yeah,
liberation.
yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
great way of putting it. That you should really should edit that bit and keep that as a phrase. That was very motivating. But and that's what I was going to say. Like, yeah, it took me a long time to get over. And like I said, I had something in December. Like, and I never say I'm never eating this again in my whole life.
Right.
But to me,
I'm the
it
same.
might. I don't know. It might be a couple of years. It might be tonight. I don't know. I just know I don't have that mental battle anymore where I try and justify. Oh, it's this many calories. I'll do some cardio tomorrow. It's to
Right.
me. It's like a snap. It's just almost like subconscious now that like that's negative. I see it as a negative. I don't see all
Mhm.
this sugar, sweet aisles and everything. I'm kind of blind to it, and that takes a while though. I'll be honest. For me, anyway, that was
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
and I think the answer was abstinence.
It
Mhm.
The
is.
long,
That is the answer. It's
y-
I just watched Max German talk about this, and he was saying when he
yeah, like
started
him.
carnivore, he had this donut addiction, these specific donuts in his grocery store. And he's like, and for whatever reason, I would torture myself, walk by them, get them, justify it, sit in his car, eat them. And then he was like, he's like doing cardio at like 1 a.m, trying to burn it off. And he's like, and the next day you look at yourself in the mirror and you have all this guilt and shame and you tell yourself you're not going to do it. And then you go back to the grocery store, you do it again. And he said,
It's just
the
one
way
more
I
time.
got off of it was saying to myself, I knew 2 weeks, it takes about 2 weeks to like stop an addictive mental pattern. So he's like, I just told myself it wasn't this like you can never have it again. It was, I'm going to not do it for a month. And then at the end of the month, if I really want to do it, I'll go eat 5 boxes of the donuts. But he was like, at the end of the month, I didn't want the donuts anymore. It was fine. But I think for
Yes.
some people, it can be very challenging to even make it through a day. Like when they're
Yeah.
first in that position, it's, you know, you look at like the Alcoholics Anonymous of like one day at a time. And I think for some people, it's also removing the people, places, and things tied to that, right? Like don't drive past that bakery. Don't go to the store where those donuts are. If
It's
you're an
literally an
alcoholic, don't go
addiction.
to the bar. Like
And God
get
forbid,
somebody, right? Like
don't have it in the house. That's the
don't
worst
have it
thing.
in your house.
Yeah.
Have an
That's
accountability person if you need it, right? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, we're having a battle in my home right now because one of us is a carnivore, and one of us is following the Vince Caranda method. And
Is that
and that
the once a week cheat meal sort of thing?
yeah. And I'm like you guys, I don't even see it as food, right? So I sent Selena a video of all the food that came into my house that I'll use quotations
Yeah,
around. And it was like,
right.
it's baked croissants with like Nutella inside. And I'm
Croissants.
looking going, what are you like? Why would you even bother to eat carnivore 6 days a week and then just load on
Yep.
Nutella? Like it's just
So,
poison. It's just poison.
we call it Nutella.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it is
sound as good.
whatever it is, Nutella.
Nutella. I like it. That's the same
It's
as
like
that's that carb night thing. One night, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keeps you addicted.
keeps you
It
addicted,
does.
and it breaks the
100%.
cycle of all your work. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting seed oils out of your body by doing that. You're not standardizing your insulin.
No.
You're, none of that's
Once you
happening.
have seed oils, one meal, it
Mhm.
takes 2 years for your body
Mhm.
to eject, detox, eliminate, however you wanna word it, that 1 meal's worth of seed oils from your body. It
Mhm.
stays in your body for 2 years.
Mhm.
And it's like a lot of people go, "Oh, well, it's okay, I'll go on a fast for 2 weeks or whatever." I'm on a fat fast right now, so I'm kind of like in that mindset. "I'll go on a fast for 2 weeks." It's like, well, that's great. That's helpful. That might push it along further, but the reality is for the standard human being, the body itself, it takes 2 years to eliminate that. That's a process of functionality. That's not a process of because some human processes it better than another. That's just how long it takes our bodies
I
to
think that's
detox it.
the half-life as well.
Right,
I think that's only I think I've heard people say like 4 years for all of it, and that's 4 years of never putting it back in your system. And
yeah,
that when you asked me about like a turning point and stuff, like when I learned about that, and hats off, that was through Paul Saladino. Like we might not agree on everything with what he says, but
right,
that he was really on the head with linoleic acid and stuff, and I believe he still is. Like that really resonated with me. I thought this is scary. Like you eat a pizza, you wake up the next day, you haven't died, but the damage has been done. Like I could have a cigarette now, I'm not going to have cancer in the morning. So I
right,
always say like
yeah,
the cancer that happens in your 50s and the heart attack you have in your 50s probably started in your 20s.
Yeah.
If you look at it, like
exactly,
but because wake up and
exactly.
you wake up when you've been drinking and you think you've got away with it, but it's
Right.
tiny little bits of damage over time. So
S
yeah, it's scary.
so scientific kind of aspects, I'm not gonna, like, throw out words, but one of the things that I learned when I was in aesthetic school, so I'm a licensed esthetician over 24 years, right? So to put in perspective, this was 24 years ago I learned this information, not recently, but they would teach us, right, when you look at somebody's skin and when you're educating about how to take care of your epidermis, you have to be aware of whatever you are doing now is because of whatever certain period of time. So if you are starting to get massive crow's feet and major dehydration and, your skin's losing collagen. So whatever you are seeing in your 30s, it's because of whatever you did to your skin in your 20s.
Mhm.
Whatever you are seeing in your 40s, it's always about 10 to 15 years back. So that put in a huge for me that, our bodies are processing at such a rate metabolically, cellularly, that by the time the damage is expressed, it's because of whatever we have done to it, whatever we have put in it, put on it, exposed it to, up to 10 years to 15 years prior. So what I'm seeing on my skin now isn't carnivore health. What I'm seeing on my skin now, the damage I am producing now, is because of what I was doing to it before I was carnivore. Being carnivore now will help to mitigate a lot of that, will help to, correct a lot of the free radical damage, not just skin-wise, but metabolically. Free radicals affect every organ in your body. We just see it on our skin and think it's growing old, right? But it's like that damage, whatever we're seeing, that's a 10 to 15 year prior experience.
Yeah, 100%. It's like with your
I have
teeth.
great genetics because I did not live well in my mid-20s.
You're fluffing beautiful. Jenny, shut up. Okay, we know.
Italo.
I like the way you said with the skin is just the outer shell, of what's going on inside. And then if you think about your teeth, they're the only bones that you can see. So that is like a window into what's going on in the body. I think a lot of dental gingivitis disease and stuff is really correlated with heart disease and atherosclerosis.
Totally.
So it's like a window into the metabolic health. But yeah, great way of putting it. Yeah, so in 10 years' time, you'll look even better.
Yeah. I'm gonna age so much better now. I gotta shed a few years of bad behavior and
right.
It is true though. You know what? There I am. When I came into carnivore, as Selena knows, we both had thyroid things. Selena was a little worse than mine, but I was so metabolically sick. I was just partying still a lot. And if I pulled my hair like this, I had male pattern balding. My hair was falling out in chunks. I had about an inch wide part because my hair was so thin on the top. And you think of those things, right? The external things. You forget your hair and your skin are, your hair's not alive, but it's like living pieces of you, right? It's like your skin is a living organ. It's not just like something on the outside. And when you start to look, exactly as you said, it's like, is your hair falling out when you're 30? That's probably not the best indicator that you're super well.
Especially for a woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for a woman who has if I let my hair down right now, you would see the afro that is now my full head of very curly hair. It's sad. But we don't realize, right? We're justifying it. You said people are losing teeth in their 30s. People are we get our teeth knocked out. Okay, fine. I've chipped my teeth 8,000 times, but you're severe gingivitis or dental disease or skin diseases, hair falling out, your nails, women's nails don't grow or men's nails don't grow. These tiny pieces. And people are just just use Rogaine. It'll be fine. Somebody told me, get Rogaine. Use Rogaine.
That's why you can't. Rogaine. Yeah. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why you can't hide, and then when you do look, when say you are stood at the wedding looking different, hopefully you do stand out because your skin, hair, nails, teeth, and I don't know anyone that doesn't look well when they're eating this way. And your skin is your skin's the biggest organ in the body, so that'll tell. That's a telltale sign. I was going to touch on something else that you said as well. It'll come back to me, but yeah, great way of putting it. That is that the outer shell that everyone can see. you never see anyone looking like on death's door that eat this way. It just doesn't happen. They just look vibrant, and that's what I was going to say. So every cell in your body is half protein, half fat. So like you said, your skin cells, your teeth is made of cells, your hair is made of cells, like keratin. So
Yeah.
you're eating the raw
literally
material.
not solid matter.
Yeah.
No, and your cells are always breaking down and building back up. They're always turning over. So that's a good sign that you can completely turn it around. You know, some stuff might be harder to come back from, but yeah, you're providing the raw materials. And then I wonder if it was it anything like PCOS stuff going on with you, Jenny?
No, it was just really bad metabolic health. So I went through a couple of really bad stress incidences, and I gave myself adrenal fatigue. So that was definitely, it took me quite a while to recoup from that. Fortunately, I was going to say my insulin's been pretty balanced. I came into this with really bad hypoglycemia, so my insulin was not balanced at all. I had been medication dependent hypothyroid since I was 16. And you know, the standard, it's genetic. My mom's hypothyroid, you're hypothyroid. Have a nice day. Okay, bye. I'm obviously not on thyroid medication anymore. My thyroid levels are completely fine, but it was just really my metabolic health, the amount of stress I'd put my body under. I bartended for 18 years. So the amount of like drinking, late nights, not sleeping enough, drugs, eating terrible, terrible food, or not eating at all. For context, when I left the restaurant industry, I am about 5'6". I weighed just about 90 pounds. So I was pretty thin coming out of the industry. I mean, I was like lean, strong, but just bad metabolism. And so it's important for me to like look at all the other people in like the restaurant industry, especially the restaurant industry, and say like, just stop now. Don't be like, I'm only 25. It'll be fine. Like you said, yeah, you smoke a cigarette today, you're not going to wake up with cancer tomorrow, but everything has a consequence.
Yeah.
And within very few months of being carnivore, my hair started to grow back. It stopped falling out.
Love it.
Like my muscle structure got better, my skin got better, everything just got better. But
yeah, it's almost like it works. It's weird.
Almost like it works or something. Who knew?
It's crazy. And then there's people saying that it's so unhealthy and stress your adrenal glands and gluconeogenesis is going to kill you and cortisol and all that. Yeah. Okay. You just kind of feel it, don't you?
Yeah. I love how natural body processes kill you, like gluconeogenesis. It's like that natural thing your body does. That's terrible for you.
Yeah, I think it happens quite a higher percentage, even in people that are on carb-based diets, just happening in the background all the time.
Yeah.
And then I just see it as that if we were supposed to run on like carbs, this is our primary fuel source. Why have we only got about 100-gram capacity in our liver? And then the carbs that are in your muscle, so the carbs that are in my bicep can only power my bicep. Once it's in your bicep, you can't release it into your bloodstream like your liver. So that's irrelevant. You've only got it there. So, but look how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of calories we can store as body fat. Look how big people can get. That is
and utilize them from anywhere.
That's our gas tank. Yeah, to me. But that kind of common sense logic, carnivore just seems to always fit with common sense. That's what I love about it.
Sadly, a lot of people lack that. But
yeah,
there's also that one. There's that subject too.
Or they don't want to. Or they don't want to hear it because it means them giving up one of their addictions.
Oh, that's the mirror. That's the mirror.
The mirror.
That's one thing that I think I've said rather frequently is a lot of people, they cannot accept what you are doing and cannot look at it without attempting to justify it away, because it forces them to have to look at their own decisions or what they are doing to their own family, that they cannot handle the shame. And so they will speak it away, ignore it away, go into delusion world because they cannot handle the shame that they have caused or have done something like to their own children, to their own bodies, they cannot handle the responsibility that, hey, as awful as this is, I might have cancer because I did this to myself.
That's definitely a hard one for people, is
Mhm.
that self-acceptance, right? It's like
Mhm.
I'm ownership, I think maybe is probably the word here, like accountability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very tough, when I work with people, that's probably the toughest thing I find people to get through. Like, you can shift mindset, but taking actual, I am responsible for what has happened to me, or I'm responsible for how I'm reacting to what has
Mhm.
happened to me, very challenging for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, 100% right. Like, and I think they respond. A lot of people respond in anger.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's what's, it's a shame, especially with social media, and like anyway, everyone's got a voice now on social media. Keyboard warriors, and I've had some horrible things. Luckily, I'm quite
Same.
thick-skinned. I don't care, and I'm sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I always say, like, if my posts trigger you, and if they're feeling, if they're inflammatory towards you, you're welcome, because that's me. Because yeah, you're the right person that should take this advice. So it's such a backwards thing. So you can
Right.
either ignore it and block me. There's a block button. Just press
Mhm.
that and go away. Do you know?
Yeah.
But they don't. They want to stay in this middle ground and still look at all your stories and comment negatively.
Exactly.
I have people who
Yeah.
follow me just to hate on me. They actually
Yeah.
follow me.
Oh, they love. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, they hit follow and then they continue to hate on me. And I hope you're watching this right now, whoever you are.
Yeah.
There's like at
Oh.
least 5 of them. And they literally just they come in to think, they don't even just watch in the back. They actively follow me just to
And
actively
it's
attack me. And I'm
yeah.
like, whatever, it's fine. Stay here. I
Yeah.
don't
And
care.
it's like
Yeah.
Okay.
just level up, do you know,
Yeah.
or just
Exactly.
go follow somebody else. But yeah, there's always going to be trolls or whatever you call them. It's just this part of it.
Yeah.
But
Like, I've never once had
yeah,
somebody say something like that to my face. So you can say
exactly,
whatever you want behind a screen. I weigh a
as
solid 125 pounds. You want to fight me to my face? Come on in.
I always say that. So I made a video. It was quite controversial and a bit taboo. It was about autism, and it would basically, like you said, Selena. It highlighted the fact that, and I even said it in the video, that the parents have to level up to set an example for the children, and then that's where they get triggered by, like, well, I can't change, so I'm just gonna. And you're saying it's my fault, my kid's like on this spectrum and worse, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of, or like this. And I spoke about a genetic component, but I also spoke about like the physiology, and there was a carnitine
Yeah.
deficiency in people, and like we don't have to go into the physiology, but I'll try to. And I kept saying this is from a place of love and care. If you don't
Yeah.
like what I'm saying, turn off the video. And somebody I got so ridiculed, and I had a local paper ring me up to do a, because they heard of it, because someone put a status up about it, which they chat GPT'd, by the way. Do you know, the whole sentence was about autism, and then right at the end it was like, oh, he's also a fu all this bit, but it was
Right.
clearly chat, because someone else put the same status up and it wasn't even shared anyway. So and then it was all the comments, and all it did was highlight to me that there's a lot of autistic children out there, and overweight children, obese, and it just highlighted my point. My point was that it's
Yeah.
on the rise. It's on the rise. What's going on?
Mhm.
Whereas, like, my granddad hasn't heard the word autism before. It wasn't a thing. So that was just a little example that
Yeah.
you can get so much hate, but luckily I don't really care, and I'd post that video again. I don't. I was trying to help people, but they don't like it. It's a
No, they
massive.
don't wanna hear it.
They take it very
They don't
personally.
wanna hear it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And
They
yeah,
they
and
don't wanna hear it. Like, so I am diagnosed on the spectrum, and I have been diagnosed 3 different times officially. So I am like, I'm on the board, okay? The first time I was diagnosed, by the way, to give some perspective, I'm 42 years old. The first time I was diagnosed, I was 13. Do you realize how long ago that was? So for not only me to be diagnosed, but for a female to be diagnosed in the latter part of the 90s, obviously, I was showing some symptoms. But You talk to people about, a lot of people go, "Oh, you can't be autistic." And I'm like,
Yeah, my
because
favorite is
because
because you're
I
so normal.
yeah,
You can't be
because
autistic. You're normal.
I'm able to sit here and have this social conversation with you because I learned to hyper mask myself. Like, I can do this conversation easier, much easier than I can if you actually sitting in front of me in person.
Oh,
It's very
100%.
challenging for me. So it's like, okay, that doesn't mean I'm not on the spectrum. It doesn't mean that I don't have all these whatevers, but I can tell you without question, since becoming carnivore, my symptoms have reduced significantly. Have they gone away? Nope. Have they reduced? Quite significantly. Can I handle things better? Absolutely. Can I still be sensory triggered? Can I still be overstimulated? Can I still go into loops? 100%. There are still moments I have to battle myself over sensory textures with food. And I have to force myself. But as an adult, I'm conscious and aware of what is happening, and I can choose to make a forceful choice. Before being carnivore, that choice was not an option.
Love that.
There's a reality of, with spectrum issues, autism, ADHD, sensory perception disorders, AFRID, like all of those things, right? I think we do have genetic markers. I mean, they've proven that, where there are some genetic aspects that might be more predisposed to that. It's whether or not we cause the trigger of the gene to be expressed. And can we reduce that trigger after it has already been expressed? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a cousin who is completely nonverbal, non-touch. She screams randomly at any given moment in time because who knows why? Who knows what's happening in her brain for her? But guess what? She's now in her 30s. She weighs almost 400 pounds. She eats absolute garbage and trash and candy and junk food and whatever food is normal food. Normal. Do I believe 100% that if they could shift her dietary regimen, that no, her autism would not go away, but would her symptoms be reduced significantly, that she might be able to be at least somewhat functional? Yes.
Yeah.
So anybody who's watching on the spectrum, come at me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that. But you just, like I said in this video, that genetics loaded the gun, but your diet and lifestyle pulled the trigger. That's the way I look at it. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I never said it was like curable, and then people seem to think
Right.
that's what I was saying. Like, no, you didn't watch. It tells me the average watch time was 3 seconds for the video. It was a 14-minute video. So it's like,
You didn't watch it.
watch the full video, and if you want to comment, message me privately, so you know if they're commenting for everyone to see. And just like,
Yeah.
they're just trolls and they want likes and they just want to get it going. And
Yeah.
it's so
When
funny
it's
how
somebody
people
who's
thrive
not
off it.
actually impacted by this lifestyle, because if somebody was impacted by autism, ADHD, like, you're going to presume, you're going to want to list, especially if you're the parent of a child. I would think. I'm not a parent. I'm speaking out of turn. Selena, correct me if you're wrong. You're a mom. Especially if you're a parent, to me, and somebody's offering some type of information that might be able to help your child
For free as well.
for free, and you're angry about it, and this person's not saying like, you're the worst, or your kids just, the worst, or blah blah. Like, this person's literally saying, like, from a place of love,
Exactly. Yeah.
like, if you make
Yeah.
these small changes, it might be really impactful for your kid's life. If you feel hostile about that response, if you feel hostile about that, you may need to sit back and question your own motivations as a
Mm.
parent.
That's the
And
mirror, Jenny. That's the mirror.
that's
Why I lost
exactly
all my
why.
friends when I stopped drinking.
There you go. And they weren't friends; they were drinking partners.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, no, exactly, and that is why they get triggered by it, because you're taking it away from them. Then it's like, because then they have to set the example then, and they're like, well, I'm not willing to change my life just so my child might even be able to say that they love me. Like, how powerful, do you know? And I've heard some amazing stories with like non-verbal stuff and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, very controversial subject, but I think we all agree that it'd be worth a try for surely for some people. But
Absolutely.
then like
Absolutely.
no, and then it's like, oh no, he'll only eat plain pasta and chicken nuggets. Like, okay, but who? This child's 3. Who bought those? And
Yeah.
he just like end of
Right.
conversation. It's
That goes
crazy.
for all
Yeah.
children. Don't tell me
And
your
it's
kids only eat chicken nuggets, because
Yeah,
if your kid never had a chicken nugget, and we
Thank you.
I
have
can
food aversion, of course,
yeah.
but
Where did they get chicken nuggets?
where do they
So
get the chicken nuggets?
and I have I'm gonna step in and kind of go on this as well. So my 4-year-old is also autistic. He also has AFRID. So he has a very difficult time with textures and things like that. And there are weeks where getting him to eat is an absolute challenge. Now my son is carnivore. He was not always carnivore, but since 2 years old, he has been full carnivore. Even as a full carnivore, I go through weeks where I am absolutely 100% grateful that there are companies like Organized or like Lineage or Equip with their cleanest options of protein powders, because there are sometimes 1 or 2 weeks where me mixing up our homemade yogurt with some of that protein and I add in the organ meat powders into it, I blend it up and put it in a popsicle, he might only eat that for a week because he is going through whatever sensory issue he's having. But I can tell you for a fact, if I fed him garbage, he would never eat anything else again except garbage.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. That shows that you care a lot.
Well,
It's
but
hard.
it's
Yeah,
And his
it is
level of
I
hard.
imagine
functionality because
that
of
must be.
what you do, like
Mhm.
recognizing as well, like his level of functionality is very good.
Yeah.
I speak because I interact with him all the time, but like I don't think the majority of society wouldn't know,
Yeah, no.
right? Like he's super intelligent, he's super communicative,
Mhm.
he's like a normal little boy.
Yeah. I get questioned all the time. Oh, is he really autistic? And I'm like, well, give him a blueberry, you'll find out.
That sounds like you're doing an amazing job with that. If people are questioning it, that shows like how powerful it is that you've got it's somewhat under control. That's really
Yeah.
good. Like well done with that. It's lovely
Well,
to hear.
and it's part of a big aspect of, like you said, it's like, okay, I would almost guarantee that the reason why his expression happened is because we were not 100% anti-vaccination family. We were mostly anti, with majority of them. And it was only, I think, a year and a half ago that they released that one of the vaccinations that was considered okay, safe, is not. It wasn't until after he received that these expressions started to become excessive. He started hitting his head all the time. He started punching himself all the time. He would stop talking and just scream. So before that, it was not an expression. So it's more or less now of going, okay, how do I help mitigate my responsibility in this because I allowed this to happen? It is a responsibility. And that's the part that a lot of people are not willing to take on with their own children because it's too shameful to have to acknowledge the responsibility.
Yeah.
That my child is this way because I am making choices that allowed it to be possible.
I mean, I think we see this with our children. We see with adults with, like, let's be super controversial, the COVID vaccine, right? Where living in Canada, for us, we were basically held at gunpoint about that.
Mhm.
And people are going to come at me in the comments and be like, no, like, there was a lot of people who were like, you lose your home because you
Lose your
don't work.
job. Yeah.
You lose your job, you lose your home, and you can't feed your family, or you take a vaccine. And I have a lot of people in my life who face that exact circumstance. And it's the same thing. It's the shame of, like, now what's happening to people,
Yeah.
and having to carry the guilt of, like, I made a decision about something that was very untested, I didn't know about. But now I know somebody who had a very bad blood clot from that, right? Could have died. Yeah, there's a lot of guilt and shame, but it's like I said before, it's ownership, right? And it's stepping up, it's understanding that, like, you didn't make a choice for your son out of malice. You didn't
Right.
make that choice for him to harm him. You made a
Right.
choice that, with the education you had then and there, with the knowledge you had at that point in time, was the best decision
Right.
for your child. Doesn't mean that the repercussions, everything still had a consequence. But now
Exactly.
your job as a parent is to accept that consequence, whether it's your fault or not, and make the
Right.
best decisions for him moving forward with the education you have
Exactly.
now. Same thing
Exactly.
for vaccines, same thing for, if you're a smoker for 30 years, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug addict, like, you're a sex addict, any of these things, you may have been making your best decision in that moment, and something in you might have said don't, or something in you might not have said don't. But now you have to take the education you have and make the best decision moving forward. That this is where it is, like, accept that you can only be in this exact moment. You can't be in the past. You can't go back and change it. So now
Yeah.
you owe it to yourself and to your child or anybody responsible under you to educate yourself and carry that information forward to make the best informed decisions in the future that you can. That's it.
Absolutely.
Don't feel shame,
Absolutely.
people. It's not always your fault. Even if you knew you made a decision, it's still coming from places of all kinds of spots. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How are you on time, Rob? Because
I'm good.
okay.
How about you? Yeah, it's more just
I'm good.
Yeah,
Your
I've got
battery life?
30% battery. My battery's good, still good, 30% battery. But yeah, I just that you said that so perfectly. You just said everything I wanted to say, but you said it in a better way. So
no.
yeah, basically, yeah, all that all came from a place of love, and we just learn and move on, don't we? And we do what we can't go back in time. We do what we thought was right in that moment, and the good thing is that you're so open and honest and aware of reflecting back on something, the pros and cons, what you could do differently, and then you move forward, and hopefully it shows and can tell you're a good person. So yeah, don't beat yourself up about anything.
Don't beat yourself up
You
about
know,
things. We've all made
nah.
shitty decisions, and we've all made
Oh,
them sometimes with a complete knowledge. Like, I would tell you, never once in my life did I do drugs thinking I was making the best choice for my life. Not once. Did it anyway.
Well,
Didn't think this is going to really benefit my health. I did not think that. Let's be very
exactly.
transparent. I did not get blackout drunk thinking that was going to give me great skin when I was 40. But
There you go. We're human. We're only
I'm
human.
a human being. The decision was made. You know what? Like, yeah, and I carried a lot of guilt about those decisions for a long time. I did too. Even though I work in psychology, I carried tons of guilt about that. I felt like a terrible person. Why would I make that choice knowingly? You did what you did. You know what you can do? Any single day you can make the choice to be better.
That's it.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
like that
Like,
one.
it's that easy. You don't have to feel like you're a terrible person because you made a bad choice.
No,
I made lots of bad choices in my life. I still think I'm
that's it.
pretty okay.
That's it. It's whether you do it again, then that's
Yeah.
the difference. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
you learn from it and
100%.
move on. Like I'll like get upset if I've had to give my little boy a little smack on the bum. Do you know, if it's been one of them days he's
Right?
just got too far and push, and then I'll put him to bed, and I'll be downstairs with my wife, and I'll start crying. And like, what? Like, I wish I hadn't done it, but that felt right in that moment. He needed that. For me, that controversial subject, but like, and like, he doesn't even make him
Just
cry.
gonna
Like,
touch them all today.
it's so bad. Yeah, we're getting deep
Yeah.
today, but yeah, stuff like that. And I'm like, and I tell
Yeah.
myself, right, no, I'm not doing it again. But I know that, like, yeah, I think he'll be a better kid for it. Like, he needed it. Like, he pushed his sister over, and I'm not having, you know, stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, you just do what feels right in the moment, and we're only human, aren't we?
Yeah.
Try learn
And
from
it's
that.
hard. It's hard for sure. 'Cause like I'm 100% like aware of exactly what you're talking about. That feeling of you're like, this is obviously like we have a counting regiment, right? So if we get to 3, if you have
Oh,
denied or whatever, if we get to 3, that means a spanking or whatever. Now, I'm telling you that is like it's it's not even like a it's not even, but in my whole heart, I have literally like I don't know. Either way. So, long
we count
story short,
down 3. I'm 3, 2, and then it stops usually. Whatever's going to happen. So,
I'll
my
tell you
husband
right
used
now, as a Romanian, my mother's 3 too came with the like, and that was it. That
Mhm.
face. And now
Yeah.
at
that
42 years
power.
old, my mother can still control me with that face. So
It's all you
Oh,
need.
yeah.
yeah,
My oldest one, he was like, my mom he'll tell you, "My mom is like the best mom ever. She can be scary, but she's
you're
the best
ginger.
mom ever."
Yeah, a
Like,
nice
"Thanks,
balance of
babe."
fear and love and respect. You know, a little bit of fear. It's respect.
Well, it's that respect aspect of,
Yeah.
I learned at a really young age from myself, right? Like, if the consequences do not outweigh the reward of whatever it is I'm wanting to do, I don't care. Do whatever you
Yeah.
want, doesn't matter. Are the consequences outweighing the reward that I'm getting? Nope. Well, whatever, I'll deal with it then. It's fine. So I learned that based off of myself.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Like, okay.
I'll use it, and you can relate that to diet. I do that with diet.
Yeah,
Like, I look at this food and
exactly.
like weigh up the pros and cons, and yeah,
Like
good way
half
of
the
looking at it.
time, let's be transparent. When you clean your diet, and I think like our friend Nora, who's a fellow UK carnivore, said it
If you're
best.
watching, we love you,
We
babes.
love you, Nora. Um, when she said like I can't eat any, like now that I cleaned up my diet, I can't eat anything else because I get bad diarrhea. Like, and it's funny, but it's super true. Like, if the
Right.
food that used to be okay for your gut now makes you profusely ill, it's not because you've gotten too extreme. It's because you've made yourself healthy enough that your body is reacting the way it should have to the poison
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is in the Nutella or Nutella or whatever the heck you want to call it, that
The
brown
Nutella.
hazelnut sauce. It's, your body doesn't want it. It's poison. But now you're not putting poison in as a lifestyle. Your body goes, ugh,
Exactly.
ugh.
Well,
Well,
it's like
the best Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
no, you're okay. No,
We're
go.
all wanting to jump in on this.
Nah, after you, ladies first.
I was gonna just say the best explanation that I can usually give people when they're like, "Oh, I've eliminated so much, I've now made myself allergic to this." No, 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 sir. No,
Mm-mm.
ma'am. That's not what's happened. What's happened is your body was so overloaded with poisons and toxins and things that it was trying to keep up with. Your body can only do so many things at one time. It's going to do the most important, and it's going to allow the least important on its list of importance to just keep hanging out and doing what it needs to do, because the most important things that won't immediately kill you are going or the least important things that won't immediately kill you are going to go on the back door handle, right? The things that are most important that will immediately kill you, that's what it's going to spend its time on first.
Mm-hmm.
Once you eliminate all of those things, now it's like, oh, this is toxic, by the way. We don't need this. This is toxic, by the way. We don't need this. It will immediately work on that because that's all it has to eliminate. It's not having to work overtime. All right, I'm done.
No, great. Yeah. And you should see that as a good thing. It's like I said before, there's no noise anymore. You know exactly what the problem is. And
Yeah.
you put one thing back in, your body tells you, like with like your example with someone getting diarrhea straight away. But would you slowly wean them back on it with a smaller amount so they could tolerate it? It's like you look at it, I think it's asking the wrong question. And then say like everyone's getting ill from the drinking water, and then they realise it's contaminated with lead or something. Everyone's getting lead poisoning. Get rid of the lead, everyone's fine. You wouldn't put the lead back in or slowly put it back in. If you look at it like, just look at it like that, then there's your answer.
Hold on,
you wouldn't.
guys.
Yeah,
We
can't
need
you just
immersion therapy here.
can we just have a bit of lead? Can we have lead on a Saturday night, like just once a week? Surely, and that's the same with alcohol, with cigarettes and vaping, and then
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say, I think it's the same with ultra processed food.
It is 100, and any time I haven't cheated much in my carnivore. And I remember, yeah, I think the weirdest for me was I took a bite of a sandwich. So I live in Quebec in Canada. So we're very like foodie culture of people. And one of my friends had a French dip, which used to be like hands down my favorite sandwich. So I was like, just give me a bite of that. And I took a bite of a sandwich. And I remember like an hour and a half later slowing down. And
yes.
I mean, Selena's really used to me, but Rob, you can tell like I'm pretty like I'm jumping all over the place and everything. I'm a pretty energetic person. And I literally couldn't think. Like we were walking because in my city we walk everywhere. And I remember kind of talking to her and being like, what are we talking about? And I was just slow. I felt like physically, like I felt like I was dragging my legs and I just couldn't one friggin' bite of a sandwich. But it was so impactful. I just thought, like, and there was meat in the sandwich, but it was still like, it wasn't even that bad. But to just think, why? Like, why would I go and binge on this on a weekend? I'm just going to feel terrible for like 4 days after. Because of what? Because of the sandwich? Like, but it's true. It's food noise. It's food noise. You have to get the food noise out to understand that we're not crazy for thinking this, that is the rational way of thinking, but you have to realize that's how that food makes you feel once you're healthy.
Yeah.
That you were walking around feeling like that all the time before.
Exactly. But they're like, no, there's no way. That couldn't be the thing.
Well, and it's a life cycle, right? It's like for me when I worked in bars, let's say, for example, like when I club bartended, which was only a very short period of time, but Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, I would work 8 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. And so you would, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you'd go get drunk at somebody else's bar that let you go there after hours, and you'd all get drunk. We'd smoke cigarettes inside. We'd probably do drugs. We'd go home at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. We'd sleep part of the day. Wake up. You're so hungover, you probably drink a Red Bull and you take like 6 Advils. And you take a bag of chips and a Gatorade to work, and you consume that illly for the next
a honey bun.
And you do that right. And so this becomes this like, I'm starting to feel better by the end of the night. Yeah, I'm good. Let's have like drinks again. And then on your off days, you feel so bad. You don't do anything. So like the 3 days a week you don't work, you just lay around. You don't go get groceries, don't go for a walk, like you don't do anything because you just.
Oh, but you worked all week, so you deserved it.
Right. Or you just went and got more drunk because you had time off. You didn't have to go to work. Like it was just this crazy cycle. And you definitely see, like, I mean, I'm very lucky I came out of that without an addiction, especially since addictions are heavy in my family. But you see how food, alcohol, cigarettes, like you see how that happens because you become caught in the lifestyle without even realizing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's crazy. It is a crazy life. 10 out of 10 do not recommend.
like when you said it's the same with here. I don't know if when people go on holiday or vacation, they go to the airport at maybe 1 a.m. and they start drinking in the
The
airport. It's
drinking
like,
in the airport, yeah.
so are you like? I see them as like a functioning alcoholic because it's like, well, you're only not drinking because you have to be at work, and then you start drinking when you get home. So then, as soon as it's like they're off or it's a weekend, they start drinking earlier. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Are you like there's some sort of alcoholism going on here? So I think it's crazy, but
Trying to
I'm
get
on
them to see
vacation.
it.
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and they can drink more because they're not working. And
My sister and I were making a joke. What was that meme that went around that was like, what it's only acceptable if you're rich. So like when you're poor, right? If you're drinking at like 9 a.m. in the morning, like, oh, it's trashy. But if you're rich and you're drinking your like mimosas or Bloody Marys in the morning, oh, that's luxury. That's posh.
I
Like,
love how the time makes a difference. Like if it's after 5 p.m. it's not unhealthy. But if you start drinking at breakfast time,
Yeah.
your physiology is different then.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not a problem
nice.
if you're drinking at 9 a.m. If you're drunk at 9 p.m., it's fine.
Then it's
Don't worry
cool.
about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, then you're cool.
I know
Don't worry
people. I
about
bet there's a lot of people that drink more volume than an alcoholic that you see on the street and having a drink, and they might just be sipping on a can all day.
Yeah.
I bet there's people that they might have a little like amount, but then people make up for it at the weekend, binging.
Oh,
Absolute. Do you know the volume of alcohol? I bet if you added up the units and you compared yourself to someone who's an alcoholic on paper,
oh yeah.
Well,
I mean,
could be scary.
I've seen a lot of functional alcoholics. Like I worked in politics for a while, and I worked with a couple of functional alcoholics who would keep a small bottle, like maybe a Mickey, like a small, I don't know if that's just a really Canadian term, a small bottle of, we always run into this. It's like the United Nations here on Jenny and Selena's show. So it's like,
What's a Mickey?
a Mickey, yeah. Like, so it's like, what do you guys call it? What do you call a small bottle of alcohol?
like a flask.
A flask?
Yeah,
You call it, Rob?
maybe.
A
Yeah,
flask? Okay.
well, a flask is like your own with your own little flask that
what do
you
you
can
call
fill
it
up
if
yourself.
you buy it from the store?
Just a small, just like a little. Well,
Like
not
a
a
pint?
shot.
Yeah,
There will be
I
a
don't
word.
know.
There will be
Like
a word.
not
That's
these
right.
We
ones, but
call them
like
airplane bottles.
I know
size,
We just
what
call
you
them
mean.
airplane bottles.
I
Yeah.
know what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
just
Canada,
a
it's called a Mickey.
small bottle. But yeah, I know what you mean.
So I would know people who would keep these in their desk, and they would literally take, yeah, we got names for stuff here. They would literally take, a little bit, pour it in their coffee, pour it in their lunch, and they would go through that small bottle over like 2 days. But they were such alcoholics, they had to have it in their system.
Yeah.
But I know people who would then on the weekend go out, and I mean, when I used to drink, we would do like, 15 shots of liquor, and we would drink beer, and we would drink everything else on top of it. That beating that person in a 24-hour window, like that's crushing that
Right.
alcoholic.
Yeah, and you don't have to
feeling.
hide it. Once it's the weekend of the night, you don't have to hide it. You can
Yeah.
you can join all the sheep. I call
Yeah.
them.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy.
It's a
That
crazy,
was
crazy thing.
a weird like perspective for me because I used to be championed on quite a bit. So I always handled liquor very well. So like what for me was like by the time I would get saucy,
I
it would
on
be
the
like
floor.
4 drinks compared to somebody else's like 1, right? Because I handled it well. I processed it well. And I was like championed for this crap.
Yeah, badge of honor.
Like, oh, Selena can handle her booze.
Right.
Yeah.
And it would be like, I look back at stuff like that now and I just go, what the hell?
So backwards.
Like, what were we championing on here? Like why was that a positive thing?
Yeah, and if you're a lightweight, you get bullied, and I got ridiculed for it. It's like you can't handle it.
I was a lightweight. Why do you think we started doing drugs? Because you can drink more.
Exactly.
When you're high, and so like
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's disgusting. It's like I got bullied for not being able to handle my booze. Again, remember I told you I weighed 90 pounds. I was like, I am not a large girl. And then the solution wasn't, hey, I probably shouldn't be doing this. This isn't good for me. The solution was, let's
gotta
do a bunch
figure out
of
how to up
drugs.
it. Yeah.
so we
build
can
it.
handle more drinking and look like we're cooler people. Like,
Right.
just what you think of that mindset, and you're just like I have 2 degrees in psychology. Why was I not analyzing myself during that period of time?
You're blinded. Yeah,
You're
you're
blind. You
blinded
become
by the
blinded.
addiction, and you don't notice an
And I was
addiction.
never cool. Like, I have never been a cool person in my entire life. The tattoos are a fake. Like, I'm not cool. It's just a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Same.
it's not a thing. And I wanted to be cool. And so, like, I was like, oh, I'm a bartender now. I finally made it, right? I'm cool. And I wanted to do what everybody else was doing because I didn't want to be a weirdo anymore. I was like, for once in my
I'm
life, I
learning
wanted
so much today.
yeah, you knew this. Do not pretend like you did not know I was weird. You know the extent of the weird. It's fine. It's just like I was dorky my whole life. I was the kid who was friends with teachers in school. I was like a really nerdy person for like the majority of my life. And you fall into this lifestyle where you finally feel like you fit in. And look what comes out the other side of that.
Yeah.
Like just a trash life, like crazy. Yeah.
It's
All my
funny how it's
nerds
like
out there. You're cool. Don't worry about it.
it comes full circle. I was like the small kid at school and a bit bullied and weird. Then you try and act a bit cool. You grow up, get some muscles, and now I'm a weird carnivore.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we kind of took the same
It's full
cycle,
circle.
except like
but now I'm
got
like proud of it.
yeah, same. Yeah,
Back to your roots. Yeah, be a weirdo.
Joe, Joe says you're cool now. That's all that matters.
Thanks, Joe.
That's right. He has said a lot of things. Sorry, I have not really been paying attention to the chat. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, chat friends. We love you.
I hope no one said anything negative.
Oh no,
I forgot about that.
They've all been.
Find me in the DMs if you got something negative to say, friends.
Get it? That's it. I'll see you there.
Yeah. I'm not a scared weirdo anymore. Now I'm a confident
weirdo.
I
forgot it was live.
We did this 2 weeks ago with Dr. Shafee, and Dr. Shafee put it live on his YouTube. So like 300 people were watching, and Selena and I were just being weird the whole time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's just how we roll.
It's just how we roll around here.
I've just emailed him last night to see if he'll do a podcast with me, actually. So that's funny. Yeah, I've done one before. It's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't have anything else to say. I made my full weird circle.
It's so funny how what paths the conversations go down, like proper deep and controversial, and then full circle maybe. Yeah.
The weird always has to come out the other side. That's always how it has to be. There is
That's
no
it.
who wants to fit in anyways. Nobody.
That's what I say to people. I say it in my to my clients, like, get used to being the wonderful weirdo.
Yeah.
You know, they'll soon ask you how you did it, and they'll want to level. Yeah, they'll soon. And the people, like you said, you lose friends. There's people that don't get in touch anymore because they want to go for a beer.
Yeah,
then
you know, is that your friend? Like that's the thing,
exactly.
Right? Like coming out the other side, and I mean this as somebody who lost a lot of friends, but also really got closer with people I hadn't been closer with before.
Yeah.
Is like, do you really want people who don't value you for you? It doesn't mean you have to agree. Like the girl who had roast beef at her wedding, she's probably 90% vegetarian. Like she's a heavy vegetable eater. Literally just made sure I had meat to eat at her wedding.
Yeah.
Like those are the people, like when you are more authentic and you live authentically and you feel okay being your authentic self, you'll find your right people. Your right people will come to you, and your wrong people will weed themselves out. Rob's done. He's out. See you later.
It was like, you'll find your right people. I'm out.
It's not me. I gotta go.
Oh my God.
No, it's back. We can hear you, Rob.
Oh, can you hear us? Are you are you there? No. He did say not. I don't know. It was probably about 25 minutes ago that his phone was only at 30%. So maybe we actually lost him.
I see him still there though.
Yeah, but there's no mic activity. There's nothing.
I don't know.
I was teasing him earlier because I was saying how I keep wanting to mimic him so bad.
Why?
Oh, because of his accent.
I'm here.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know me
Oh,
and
yeah, that's a
accents.
thing. Yeah, that is a thing. Rob's back. Hi, Rob.
Can't hear anybody.
That's okay.
No? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Rob. We'll just use hand signals.
I'll come out and back in.
I'm gonna have to like get off this part of
Yeah,
the
I
call
know.
at the moment to
Probably me too. My little one's probably going to end up waking
screaming
up
soon.
soon. Oh,
Is he sleeping?
he went to bed at like 11:30,
That feels off
which
brand
means
for him.
it is, which means I went to bed at 11:30.
I went to bed at 1 a.m. On
Can,
brand.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. Terrible.
Don't
No apologies
Sorry.
needed.
Can
None.
you? I want to hear your impression of my accent, though.
No, see, you heard that. Selena does accents really well. She
Go on.
she does she does
Don't
my
do them on
Canadian.
lives.
Shall I say a sentence and you have to copy it?
Okay, sure. Let's see what we got. I haven't even practiced your accent
I'm
forever.
trying to think. I should say, hi, my name's Rob and I'm a carnivore and I don't eat Nutella.
Oh, that's a lot. Hold on. Say it again.
No, you can say what you want, but yeah, I'll just say something saying like, you shouldn't eat Nutella, it's too high in sugar.
I can't now. I'm on the spot. You
Sorry.
He's gonna do it the rest of the day now. Though,
You'll have to
I
send
know
me,
I am.
send me
I
a
am.
voice. Send me a voice note later, just privately.
I'll send you a whole video so you
Thank you.
have like proof.
I want to see your face as well. Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Rob. This is what you
Yeah, pleasure. No, it's been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
get. This is not a stuck-up podcast, that's for sure.
Yeah,
No,
I
no.
love the organicness, authenticity,
The vibe,
brilliant,
man.
the vibe,
Yeah.
everything, all the above.
Good vibes only.
If you should have been in our main group, you would have gotten Jennifer Coolidge on 4th of July.
Yeah, we did that. It made
Yeah.
me want a hot dog real bad.
I think we might have to mute that. That's X-rated, Jenny.
I feel like there's a lot of private jokes going on. They're going over my head.
You know who Jennifer Coolidge is?
It rings a bell.
She's
I should know. I'm sorry.
What movie?
No.
You're also younger, so it may not be a generational thing.
Is she an actress?
Yeah, she's like the older hot mom lady, and she's like a thicker lady. She's like
she played Stifler's
mom.
Yeah.
Stifler's mom.
What, you've had her on the podcast?
No, somebody made a 4th of July meme with her.
I know she is.
Saying like happy 4th of July, and it was like her, and it was like it makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Yeah.
In her Jennifer Coolidge voice.
Yeah, she's very seductive and promiscuous.
She's a seductive older gal for sure. I don't want to call her older. I don't know how much older than us she actually is.
She's the MILF, isn't she? Like that's
she's a MILF. Yeah,
it's the MILF. That's the original. She's the OG MILF. So
yeah, the OG MILF.
She's in her 60s now.
Okay, good. Then I feel way less bad. I was like, if she's like 48, I call her older.
Have you seen the series White Lotus?
Yes.
She's in.
Well, I've seen the first season.
Yeah, she's in. That's the last thing I saw her in.
Does she look good still? I feel like she still looks good.
I mean, for her 60s?
I don't know. For her age, maybe. I feel like there's a lot of work done, but they all do, don't they?
I don't know if anybody's seen Madonna recently, but
no.
It's interesting.
It's this
interesting. I always think like I don't think they look any younger. They just say they're 70. They just look like 70 with plastic surgery. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Exactly.
A thing I saw many years ago was a girl she's like, I went to my doctor and she's like, or I went to like get Botox, and she was like, how much younger am I going to look? And the doctor looked at me and was like, you're going to look 40 with Botox.
With
like
Botox,
everybody else who's 40 with Botox. Like, you're not gonna look
because
20.
Yeah, because everything's different. Do you know, like like my nose is different to when I was 20, I'm sure, and your
Right.
ears grown. Yeah, where do you stop? You know, it's like, no, you look
Yeah.
like, you're a 40-year-old with a 20-year-old forehead. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
Everyone knows you're 40 still.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
as an esthetician, the only thing that I would ever, and I've not had it done, but I have seen plenty of people who have, the only thing I would ever advocate for if somebody is wanting to have some sort of procedure done, something, is the laser plasma burning.
Oh yeah,
And
I've heard of
it's
this.
the tiny, tiny, tiny little dots. The reasoning why is because what it actually does is it damages the skin. It then causes a peel off. But what happens is the cellular structure of all of the cells and the mitochondria have to duplicate themselves 2 times as fast to heal. They completely create new skin cells entirely. So it does renew the surfacing of the skin to a degree. Like, it's not going to be like crazy, but it actually does work to a degree. So I have, like, for example, I had 3rd and 4th degree burns coming through here because of the fact that I did not let the burns heal, scabbed. So I would remove the skin and force new cells to have to come off. I don't have scarring. Now, there's certain parts of my arm that I do because I didn't really care about my arm, but I cared about my face. You
How
know,
you make your money? It's face shot.
that's
Like,
right. That's
if you're
right.
on the podcast, we need to look at your
Yeah.
face.
So
How you
we're
make
making
me,
Nice.
how you make your money and face shot together in a sense. That's okay.
right. Okay. So that's the only thing that would have actual results that are not injecting anything into yourself. Other than that, nothing else. Everything else is, I don't know.
There've been
Surgeries, in my opinion, are too invasive.
some golden information this past nearly 2 hours. Golden.
Golden. If anybody makes it this far, there's
I
your
know.
golden egg of,
I was going to say,
anti-aging.
I didn't even touch my phone in case I get chucked off, but like my battery's nearly gone, I think. But anyway,
Yeah.
um,
It's
but
probably a good
I
time
could talk
to
for
sign
I
off.
was gonna. Yeah, how long do you normally do on the lives? Is it random?
It's
Depends
random.
on the
I mean,
person.
we ask for an hour. We ask for an hour.
Oh,
Whoever stays beyond that, we know that they're one of us.
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
We've
crazy.
adopted you now, Rob. You're part of
Oh,
you're
thank
part of our
you.
family now.
Oh, brilliant. I accept. Yeah. No, fantastic. No, I
As
didn't
far
want.
as go ahead.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
just
Rob.
didn't want my phone cutting off before saying thank you and bye and
Yeah,
everything. But yeah, go on.
absolutely. I was gonna say we could probably go ahead and hop off live. That way, everybody gets a
Okay,
clear bye.
that's it.
Because I will need you to stay on for a minute after we
Yeah.
go off live. So I think this is it. Rob, thank you so much for coming on with us. We have enjoyed
Pleasure.
it tremendously.
Thank
So
you.
for everyone who's watching, we love you. We will be back next Monday at 7 a.m. Stay tuned to see who our guest will be next Monday, and we look forward to it. So much love. Bye.